Well, it is time to plant our garlic.
It's the 3rd of November and we're actually going to plant our garlic on time. So we just got the bed all cleaned out where our garlic is going to be planted for the 2024 season. And it actually wasn't that bad because it was an area that we'd just taken everything out of for harvest. As you can see, we had some eggplants, a few weeds, obviously, because that's our kind of go-to crop. But it cleaned out well. We had sun, so we're going to hopefully have it dry out a little bit. And tomorrow, it's time to plant. Well, we're inside and we are going through our boxes of garlic. Yes, we still have boxes of garlic even after canning season, but we're finally sorting out our garlic and making decisions on which ones are going to be planted. And boy, oh boy, as we go through these couple boxes, there is some beautiful, beautiful garlic. This year, we are aiming for, well, we're not aiming, we are planting 450 cloves of our music garlic and 75 of our Siberian. So that is what we are after. That is our final goal.
As we go through some of these cloves, or bulbs, sorry, and we look at the cloves, there's absolutely nothing wrong with something that size. But we're going for bigger in this case. Kind of keep the best and eventually eat the rest.
But bigger is not the only factor that we really go for.
So something we are looking for is sort of the number of cloves. So I think the minimum we're going for is at least 4. I forget the actual sort of how many music's supposed to have. Multiples, and like this one where they're kind of fairly even.
Yeah, uniformity I think is
nice,
a big
because
one.
then you're kind of selecting from the entire bulb, but you still may only keep the couple best cloves out of this for planting.
And that's why we have a basket developing here of all our little ones so that we can make some garlic powder as soon as we're done all this. That's what we said last year. It never happened. But this year we have a lot of garlic. We're actually planting a bit less than what we did last year because I think it's debated. It is debated, but I think we've planted maybe a little too much garlic this year. So we're downsizing a little bit, but not by much.
I don't think we have too much, but this number we're planting fits the space better.
So basically right now we're only up to 100 cloves. We have another big bowl that we're going to be filling, but we won't bore you with watching us do this all night. But we'll bring you back when we've got all of our 450 cloves separated.
One of the tedious parts of growing garlic.
Well, it's starting to snow, and as always, we don't have our garlic planted yet. But you saw we got it all sorted and measured out, so we have our 450 cloves of music and our 75 cloves of Siberian all ready to go. They actually soaked overnight in a bath of water and baking soda. What we soaked them in is a solution of a tablespoon of baking soda per gallon of water. That has then been poured over top of these. It is supposed to tackle things like the fungus, that sort of stuff. Now, we've not tried any other way. We've always soaked our garlic. We've never had a problem with fungus. Whether these two go hand in hand, I don't know, but we're gonna stick with it because if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? I've kind of worked ahead a little bit here. We've got some hay laid out as our borders, and we've got some rows set up, so we're gonna start working on getting this garlic in the ground before the -10 tonight. Nothing like leaving it till last minute.
So there's the first triple row. We use hay down kind of the temporary aisles, which makes it a lot easier for planting. And the ground's actually fairly firm this year, so it's kind of a hybrid approach. We've done a bit of a trench and dibbled it. And here we go with the trench making.
It's sort of like a no-till method.
It does work. We're just kind of measuring them out, and
it would work a lot better if we did it before the ground got rained on.
Yeah, it's a bit wet now, but we're going to get them in. All right, let's get the first cloves in the ground. Planting garlic's pretty simple. You're just sticking them in the hole. And the nice part of it is they show up pretty decently against the soil. So you can kind of tell, at least on a small scale, it's fairly easy to tell where you've planted and where you've missed. I think for me, garlic's one of those things that I do think more people should plant it. It's very simple, and we kind of always jokingly say it pretty much requires some more intensive work 3 times a year. Planting like this, which is probably the most labor intensive. Harvesting, which I'm going to say it isn't really all that labor intensive. And processing, where you're putting it up in the loft for reuse, getting it all dried up. So I mean, that's time, but it's not really effort. And then processing it into a usable form, because it's such a amazing medicinal plant and so versatile, and it's something that's actually rather expensive. I do think growing garlic is something you should definitely consider if you're in an area where it will grow fairly well for you. And don't be shy about planting a fairly big patch of it, because in the grand scheme of things, even though it probably looks like we're working pretty hard, it's not that much work for the reward. One triple row completely planted. So the one sort of negative about soaking garlic, I don't know if it's completely negative, it just makes it a little harder, is once you get it soaked, that outer papery skin goes kind of soft, and the garlic clove goes soft, and while that's beneficial to the garlic, it does make planting it a little bit harder, depending on the year. Some years we don't have issues with this, but this year the ground's wet and fairly hard, and that's making it challenging. Well, and so goes the saga of garlic planting and sheep that apparently feel they need something even though they've been fed. Anyways, the music garlic is planted, and I think in typical fashion for us, as per every year, as far as I can remember, growing garlic here, we are going to be planting the Siberian garlic after dark.
Well, we're the next day. It got too dark to film, but we did want to show you that we got all of our garlic in here, all 7 rows. Each one's roughly 75 cloves. We got them all covered, and each stake here marks a row. So once the snow comes this winter and we're trekking down to the chicken coop, we won't be walking on top of this and packing it all in. But all in all, I think we made it just in time, because I don't know if you can hear that, but the ground is solid under my feet. So it froze big time last night, and it didn't get above 0 today. So it's supposed to freeze again hard tonight. So I am glad. I think we got the timing just, I'm not going to say perfect, because we probably should have done it beforehand. But anyways, it's in, it's done. Whew, we can take that off the list for this year.